Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Tipti Kulkarni, lecturer, Department of Physics, KLS Kokte PU College, Belgavi. In continuation with my earlier video, electric charges and fields, I am going to discuss few more concepts from the same chapter. Let us begin with torque. What is torque? You might have studied in PUC first year torque. Torque is nothing but it is moment of force or rotational force. It is a Latin word. The meaning of this is to twist. Okay. Torque is denoted by the symbol toe. In sometimes we use the symbol toe or sometimes we use T also. Okay. So this is the symbol of what? Symbol of torque. Okay. Now electric dipole. What is electric dipole? Electric dipole already we discussed in the previous slides. Okay. Equal and opposite charges are separated by a small distance, that is called dipole. Similarly, we discussed electric field also. The area or a space surrounded by the charge is called electric field. Then how this torque, electric dipole and electric field, all these are related with each other. So we are going to learn one small derivation based on this. Okay. And where we observe this torque in our daily life, where we experience. Suppose if we open the door or close the door, then we experience some rotational force or moment of force. That is nothing but torque. If we open the or rotate the lid of the bottle, then also we experience rotational force or moment of force. That is nothing but torque. Okay. So we are going to learn based on this torque one small derivation. Consider dipole AB here. AB is a dipole where negative and positive charges are present. This is a dipole. Dipole distance is 2a. OB is perpendicular on AO. So we have to join here B, O and A. These three are imaginary lines. Okay, here OB and AO are imaginary lines. We have to join B, O, A points to complete this triangle, right angle triangle. Angle between this AB and AO is theta. P is a dipole moment, it is a vector quantity, and dipole moment direction is always from negative charge to positive charge. So that is the reason this arrow mark is from A to B. Suppose if we keep one uniform this dipole in the uniform electric field, these parallel lines are nothing but what? These yellow colored parallel lines are nothing but they are electric field lines. So this is a uniform electric field which is denoted by E is a vector, electric field is a vector quantity. Okay. Now the angle between this P and E. Why it is E? Because this pink color line and yellow color line both are overlapping, both are in the same direction. So the angle between this P and E is theta. Okay. And these arrows shows the couple of forces. Okay. Force formula F is equal to QE, which we discussed already in the previous videos. Okay. Force F is equal to QE. Due to what? Due to the negative charge and positive charge. But directions are opposite with respect to this electric field. So suppose if we consider this negative charge, it is opposite. The force is opposite to the electric field. So here, due to this positive charge, the direction of the force is towards the electric field. Okay. Just carefully see the direction of this force and electric field both are same. Okay. So direction is towards the electric field. Now the force of magnitude QE acts opposite to each other, and hence net force acting on the dipole due to external uniform electric field is 0. So there is no translational motion of the dipole. Here we are not observing any translational motion. What is translational motion? Linear motion is translational motion. We are observing only rotational motion, rotational force we are experiencing here. From this figure, minus q and plus q are the magnitudes of the charges of the dipole. 2a is the distance, dipole distance. Okay, 2a is the distance between the charges. E is a uniform electric field and P is a dipole moment. Okay, then theta is the angle between this electric field E and the dipole moment. Okay, then what is the formula for the torque? Torque is equal to electric force into perpendicular distance. Electric force or couple of force into perpendicular distance. Now, if we redraw the same these lines, okay, dipole and this electric field separately, this is a dipole moment P, which we shown here. Okay, this is AB and this is E. Okay, between them the theta is angle. Okay, between P and E angle is theta. Okay, then the torque is acting here. Okay, now suppose force acting on plus q, okay, F is equal to EQ along E. That is, due to this positive charge, the force is QE. Force acting on minus q means this q, EQ opposite to E. This force is opposite to electric field. Both are opposite here. Okay, then tau is equal to electric force or couple of force into perpendicular distance. Which one is perpendicular distance here? BO is perpendicular distance. Okay, BO is perpendicular on AO. Okay, now E means electric force in this case or couple of force. All these are vector quantities. Okay, tau is the notation for the torque. Torque is a vector quantity. You call it as, this is equation number 1. Now, work done on an electric dipole in uniform electric field. When an electric dipole is placed in uniform electric field, it experiences torque and tends to align in such a way to attain stable equilibrium. Suppose if we consider the dipole here in presence of uniform electric field, it experiences force. That sort of force is nothing but torque. Just carefully see the diagram. The dipole is kept here in presence of uniform electric field, and the angle between the dipole moment and electric field is denoted by theta. How the angles are changing, you just carefully see when the dipole start rotating. Just carefully see, angles are differing, angles are changing, that is d theta. Okay, so this is due to uniform electric field. When we keep the dipole in presence of uniform electric field, then it experiences torque. To find BO or OB, OB is perpendicular distance. Then what is that OB? From triangle BOA, sin theta is equal to OB divided by AB. Okay, so from triangle BOA, which one is a triangle here? So in this slide we observed BOA is a right angle triangle. From this right angle triangle, what is sin theta? Sin theta is equal to OB divided by AB. OB is opposite side here and AB is hypotenuse. So sin theta is equal to OB divided by AB. Okay. Now what is OB? OB is equal to, or BO is equal to AB sin theta. You just cross multiply these two, then we will get OB value. Okay, or BO value, AB sin theta. Then BO is equal to 2A sin theta. Why 2A here instead of AB? Because AB is equal to 2A. AB is what? It is a dipole, and dipole distance is how much? It is 2A. You call it as, this is equation number 2. Okay. Suppose if we substitute equation 2, this value in equation 1. Which one is equation number 1? So this is equation number 1. Tau is equal to electric force into perpendicular distance. Suppose if we substitute equation 2 in this equation, then how much we will get here? Tau is equal to EQ. EQ is a force here, electric force, into perpendicular distance, that is OB or BO. How much it is? 2A sin theta. Then next step, tau is equal to EP sin theta. Why here P? E as it is, sin theta as it is, but why this is P? Because we studied the dipole moment. E into 2A is equal to P, that is dipole moment. Suppose if we substitute this dipole moment value in this case, then tau is equal to EP sin theta. This is the final expression for what? For the torque. Therefore, tau is equal to EP sin theta. Okay. Direction of torque is perpendicular and into the plane containing P and E. SI unit of torque is Newton meter. What is the SI unit here for the torque? Newton meter. Suppose if we observe this diagram, we can study two cases. Okay. Case number 1. What is that? Case number 1. Suppose if we assume theta angle theta is 0. Suppose if we assume angle is 0. Then what is the sin 0? Sin 0 is 0. Okay. This sin 0 value, if I substitute here in this expression, what about torque then? Definitely torque, it will become 0. It will be 0, right? Why it is 0? Tau is equal to 0 because sin theta is equal to 0, then sin 0 is equal to 0, then torque is equal to 0. Then we observe minimum torque. Torque is minimum. So when it is possible, so sin 0 means where it is, if the dipole is like this along the direction of electric field, okay, then only we can satisfy this condition. Second case, if theta is equal to 90 degree, if theta is equal to 90 degree means sin 90 is equal to 1. Therefore, if we substitute this 1 value in this formula, then tau is equal to EP or PE. Okay, that is tau is equal to PE, where we observe maximum torque. Okay, maximum force, moment of force is more here. Okay, actually when it is possible, if the dipole is perpendicular to the electric field. So this is perpendicular line. This is, if suppose if we keep the dipole perpendicular to the electric field, then only what we observe? We observe maximum torque. Okay. Next one, electric flux. Electric flux is denoted by either phi E symbol or only phi notation. Okay. It is defined as the product of component of electric field normal to the surface and area element, delta S. Delta S is the notation for the area element or surface area or area vector. Okay, sometimes we may use delta S or ds or only S or A. All meanings are same. Okay, this shows the surface area. Okay, now what is the meaning of this? Suppose if number of electric field lines are passing through the closed surface area, area must be closed. That is very, very important. Whatever the area we consider, they must be closed one. Suppose if we consider a spherical here or a rectangular shape or a triangle or a square or irregular lamina, okay, but they must be closed. If number of electric field lines are passing through them, through that surface area, then that is called electric flux. Okay, so here you just observe carefully in this diagram, electric field lines are passing through this closed surface area. This is surface, okay, that is called electric flux. This is area element, this is electric field line, okay, which is passing through what, through the surface area. Okay, this is the direction of surface or area element which is perpendicular to this surface. We call it as a normal. Okay, so in the next slide we will discuss what is a normal or area vector in detail. Electric field in terms of electric flux, phi E. Electric field is the electric flux per unit area. Okay, so how we have to express that electric flux in terms of electric field? Electric field E is equal to electric flux divided by area, implies E is equal to phi E divided by area. Therefore, phi E is equal to E dot area. So this is the expression for the electric flux. Electric flux phi E is equal to E into area. So E into area, summation of E delta S cos theta. So this is what? This is the electric flux formula. And why theta here? Angle between E and delta S. Okay, that is theta. Okay, theta is the angle between the direction of E and delta S. So E is in this way and this is the direction of what? Delta S. Between these two, angle is theta. That is the reason we have to write here cos theta. This is one reason. Another reason, there is a dot product. So whenever we write the dot product, that time to open that dot product we have to write cos theta. E delta S cos theta. Okay, and electric flux is directly proportional to what? Number of field lines. If electric field lines are more, okay, then definitely electric flux is more. Okay, next one, area vector. Suppose if we consider the planar element, okay, this is a planar area element and this is a perpendicular line which shows normal. You might have studied in mathematics also normal. Normal means perpendicular line which is drawn to the particular area element or the particular surface to understand the direction of that particular surface. And usually, okay, they are denoted by n cap. This normal is denoted by n cap. N cap is a unit vector, the value is 1. It shows the direction of what? Direction of this particular surface. Why we have to multiply with this n cap? N cap is a normal, okay, it is a unit vector, value of course it is a 1, but when we multiply with that particular area or the surface, then it shows the direction of the surface. It may be a spherical or a curved path, curved surface, or any irregular lamina. So here I just taken the example of for the curved surface. This is a normal, okay, the line which is perpendicular to the curved surface n cap, and this is a curved area element, okay, and this line shows the direction of what? Direction of the surface. Okay, next one, Gauss theorem. Gauss is the name of a scientist. After him the name is given to that particular theorem, so we call it as Gauss theorem, Gaussian theorem. Okay, according to him, the total electric flux phi through a closed surface area in free space is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times of net charge enclosed by the surface. This is the statement of Gaussian theorem. Okay, so in simple way, according to the Gauss theorem, phi is equal to q divided by epsilon naught. Q divided by what? Epsilon naught. So number of, suppose electric field lines are passing through the closed surface area, that is called electric flux, which we studied in the previous slide. So according to Gauss theorem, what is the statement? The flux, total flux through a closed surface area in free space is equal to how much? That is phi is equal to q divided by epsilon naught. Okay, epsilon naught. Okay, this is the simple expression for the Gaussian theorem. Now let us consider one spherical symmetric surface. This is a proof of Gaussian theorem. Okay, suppose if we consider the spherical symmetric surface, okay, then this is a center point denoted by O, where positive isolated point charge is kept there. Isolated point charge is present at O. Then these two are radius, okay, r, and this is delta s. Delta s is a vector quantity. Just now we discussed area element or surface area, okay, and it is a vector quantity. That is the reason we have to show the arrow. This is normal or the area vector which is perpendicular to the surface. Okay, then where is electric field? Definitely electric field line is always moving from positive charge to infinity. It is always outward. The direction of electric field is outward due to this charge. So this electric field is also vector quantity. Okay, the flux through area element delta s is given by delta phi is equal to E cos theta delta s, okay, which we discussed already in the previous slide. Okay, then delta phi is equal to E dot delta s. Why not here cos theta? Because theta, suppose if we assume theta is equal to 0 degree, then cos 0 is equal to how much? It is 1. Cos 0 is equal to how much it is? It is 1. Why cos 0 is equal to 1? Just carefully see the direction of electric field E and this yellow color line that shows direction of area vector or surface area. Both are overlapped here. What is the angle between these two, E and delta s? Definitely angle is 0. If the angle is 0, then what will happen to this cos 0? Cos 0 is equal to 1. That is the reason delta phi is equal to E into delta s. You call it as equation number 1. Now proof. Flux through a spherical surface S is given by, suppose if we want to study the total flux of this spherical surface, okay, so total, how much it is flux, or the total surface for the total surface area, then how much it is, flux is how much. Okay, why I have to consider delta phi? Because delta phi is restricted only for this surface. Suppose if I consider one more surface here, one more here, one more here, is it not delta phi at this point? Is it not delta phi at this point? So we have to add all these delta phi's. Okay, that is the reason summation of delta phi. But what is delta phi? Delta phi is equal to E into delta s. So summation of E into delta s. E we are not changing, we are observing only here this surface area. Okay, these surface areas are changing. That is the reason summation of delta s. We are adding all these surface areas. That is the reason delta s. So you just call it as, this is equation number 2. Here E is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r square. This is the expression for the electric field which we discussed already in the previous videos. And summation of delta S is equal to 4 pi r square, that is area of Gaussian surface. Why 4 pi r square? Because circumference of the spherical surface is 4 pi r square. Substitute the value of E and delta S in the equation number 2. Therefore, equation 2 implies phi is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square into 4 pi r square. Which quantity get cancels? 4 pi r square and this 4 pi and this r square. Okay, these two get cancels. What is remaining? Q divided by epsilon naught. Therefore, phi is equal to q divided by epsilon naught. This is Gaussian theorem. So, from the Gaussian theorem, total electric flux through a closed surface area is equal to 1 divided by epsilon naught times of net charge. This is Gaussian theorem. I hope you understood the theorem properly. For further questions and answers on first chapter, please go through the link given below. Thank you.